Hi everyone. Hope I'm loud enough. I don't even know anymore. That was I literally went to move my phone and everything like scattered on my desk and now I was like, what happened? Hi. I am here. I'm late today. Well, later than what I normally stream because kiddo had a day off. Not a day off, a half a day. So I had to go pick up my spawn early. And since I had to pick him up early, I didn't want to get stuck having to stream for like an hour and then run and pick him up. So I was like, I'll do it after that. So he's home and he was very curious about the stream setup because he normally doesn't see it. And I was like, yeah, this is how I stream my sewing and show people what I'm making. So that was it. But yeah, this morning I went, did a few errands, and I'm gonna show it off. I picked up in Five Below a relatively inexpensive um eyeshadow palette because I realize I need like a lot of grays and darker tones that I don't normally have on hand for when I work on words. When I work on Vaggie and do Vaggie's makeup, so I picked up this palette from Wet n Wild, mainly for like the tones that are down here, like this black, this dark gray, this light gray, and this taupe. So I'm hoping with those four colors I'll be able to do a really nice smoky eye. Do I still have my makeup palettes? I don't think I do. I might. I feel like I got rid of my naked palettes from Urban Decay years ago. But yeah, this Wet n Wild palette is called Lights Off. I think it was supposed to be a dupe for the Naked palette from Urban Decay, but I figured it'd work out. I do like the grays, like the dark gray and the really dark glittery gray, and then like the pewter one. I figured those two would look really pretty. And also, let's see, where is she? Where is she? So I am totally not working on the dress today. Though the dress still has some bits and bobs that need to be finished. I am very tired of seeing red, literally. So I'll do the rest of the finishing later, probably later this week. I'll work on the hem of the skirt and the lining that's by the zipper, but overall the dress looks adorable. I took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram stories. I put it on and I was like, yes, it fits really cute. So I'm very pleased with it. Oh, it would work out well. I don't want to click on it because I'm worried the music's gonna play. So in case, so there is like there's a few artists that always do like these fan renditions of different characters, and one of them is Sunset Dragon, and she just released her arcane designs for Jinx, Vi, and Caitlyn. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Because I want to make Jinx's dress. I think it's just too cool to pass up. It's literally this one. The light from my camera is driving me nuts. I think we'll probably be able to. There she is. Yeah. I think I want to do that one. Her second design with like the bullet belt. But I think I might want to use the shoes from the first design and see how that works out. But yeah, I think it would be really cool. There's a lot of like different techniques that I would like to try. And ironically, the color of her dress is kind of close to my hair. So that works. All right, so again, we are listening to chill hop music, just vibing with the day and seeing what we can do. We're gonna work on the kerchief and the pattern for her apron. Like I said, I've gotten most of the dress done. I'm comfortable enough to move on, but I'm also tired of working on this dress. I've worked on it every stream since I've started this project, and I'm tired. I'm tired of her right now. So we're not going to work on that today. Instead, we are going to work on, I think, the kerchief first, because that's going to be really easy. Now, I keep calling it kerchief, but it's basically the little neck scarf that she has draped on her neck, around her neck, because that's a thing. I didn't move this table close enough. Don't mind me, I'm going to move my table. The weather here is taking a turn for the cooler at the moment. I'm trying to lower the brightness because it's super bright in here right now. It's starting to get pretty cool. It was funny because this afternoon when I was gathering my spawn from school, it was still relatively warm, and now I went out right before stream to go take something to UPS, and suddenly it is getting chilly and windy, and I don't know what's going on. Tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty cold, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So right now I have a few things. I have this little fabric. It's like anti-satin. I don't even know. It was from the Joann's Remnant bin. I just thought it would be a cool fabric to use for the kerchief because it has a nice little sheen to it. I believe it won't overpower the dress and give me that black look that I want. So that's for the kerchief. Honestly, the way it feels more like a rayon taffeta style, and it looks like it. So I think it's just like a rayon blend, something lightweight and simple. I'm going to use a kerchief that I currently have to map out the dimensions. And for the apron, because in actuality, I believe in the show, the top of the dress, like the body of the dress is supposed to be white, like the bodice is supposed to be white, and the skirt is red and the sleeves are red. I didn't go with that. I made the whole dress red because I wanted a red dress. So I'm going to use my bodice pattern from just the center front and trim off some spots, like maybe angle it this way so I can cover most of this in the white fabric and then narrow the sleeves. So I'm basically gonna just hold the pattern up, see where I need to narrow it, and go from there. And then I don't think this is gonna work because in fact I don't even know how this pattern works, but I'm basically going to use this to help me make a decent bottom part of the apron. So like have the lower part with this. I just really want the curve shape out of it more than anything because I don't want to have to recreate a curve on my own. You could, it's not a big deal. I have curved rulers. However, I don't want to make a mess. So that's the plan for today. So I'm gonna make the kerchief first because that's gonna be pretty quick. Now, as you see, I have a regular handkerchief that I have had for many moons now. I'm just gonna measure it and figure out what the dimensions are of it and basically just put it on my black fabric. I everyone's Wednesday is going well. I am still in utter confusion that this week is essentially halfway over. I don't even know how that's going on here. Okay, this is about like 20.5 inches, and I'm pretty sure the other side is like 20.5 inches too. Oh no, it's a rectangle. It has a little bit more. Look at that. This is 21. It's more than 21. Okay, so we're gonna do 20. It's like 21.5 by 20.5. Okay, cool. Ooh, this got some stretch in it. That's nice. Like I said, this was one of those, I just found it because it was there. I didn't have to worry about spending too much money. Guess I'm just gonna measure the length of this and maybe just use whatever is the length across. Alright, it's a little bit more than what I need, so I guess I'll just mark it to what I want and then move on with light. So let's see. What has been going on with my life so far? Not much. This weekend we got our Thanksgiving Day turkey, which I'm excited about because we're making the turkey for the first time and we bought it. We could have gone to Costco and gotten it cheaper, but we went to the supermarket and we did it that way. But regardless, it's done. Oh, I got another package on my front door. What? Why is there a package on my front door? Yeah, interesting. And it's getting so windy that the rug is being picked up. That's not cool. No, that's the one I got earlier. I got that package already. No, no, actually I didn't. Oh my. I always have craziness. So. I'm gonna mark 21.5. I'm gonna do that for a few places. Really should do 22 because I don't think this is very well handled at the moment. Let's push that back a little bit more so I can get more room. This is a rather large piece of fabric at the moment. Not even that long, it's just there. I should put down my serger though when I get a chance. This has been one of the things I love so much about having my table up here because I can do this and not have any issues putting anything into place. So yeah, I love it so much having all of this space. Okay, something's going on here. Okay, let's just do 22. Not that I need 22, but I think I need to true up this fabric. This fabric is not straight right now, I'm noticing. Which is probably why it was in a remnants pile, so we'll see what happens. So, let's see. So earlier this week, I went to the scissor sharpening place by where I live and I sharpened my scissors. Now these are some of my OG scissors that I've had for many years. And I love them. Oh wow, that just cut you up like butter. Yeah, let's just try to true this up because it's not working for me right now. Wow, yeah. This did not get cut the right way. Okay. That might help out a lot more. So let's put this puppy on here. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, I'll just leave it like this. Again, this kerchief has warped a bit because I have used it several times. And I'm just using it now, but I'm excited that I got my scissors sharpened, and I also got my pair of pinking shears as well, and I can't wait to cut with those. So smooth. I haven't I've wanted to sharpen my scissors for quite some time now, and I hadn't had the opportunity to do it, which was crazy because I lived in New York for like years, and now that I'm all the way out in Tennessee, I have finally sharpened my scissors. It's funny because I feel like back when I was younger and cosplaying, I was way more reserved about how I would go about getting my supplies and so on. Like, I never really wanted to say I was cosplaying. I was very shy about it. And now I'm like, no, I'm a seamstress. I sew. And for me, that's all that matters. Nothing else. This might be a little too big still, but we'll find out now because I'm going to fold it over. Okay. There we go. Alright. So I can just adjust these pieces. I'm going to just pin them in place so I can square it off better. I really like this fabric for the kerchief. It's gonna feel so nice on my neck. Really is. So let's see. This is one of those small details that, like, yeah, I could have easily just like thrown something together and like not even bothered, but like, you know what, I'll do it. In fact, I wasn't planning on even buying new fabric for this, but again, I was in Joann's and the remnant bin was calling my name, and I was like, oh, look at that. I think I spent like $1 or something. I was like, you know what, it's fine. It's the right amount I need for a kerchief. Let's get it. It's fine. And I actually might have enough to use for Yui. That might be cool because, you know, that's another project I need to work on. But I think after I finish this and we're in December, I believe I'm gonna start patterning out that Jinx by Sunset Dragon. I would love to wear that at Katsucon. I would die to wear that at Katsucon. It's just so pretty. And no fault of the artist at all, but I tend not to gravitate toward a lot of her designs. Not because I don't like her, they've never spoken to me. This was like one of the first designs that I was like, yes, this is something I need in my life. So I will be working on that probably. I think in December I'll just start doing all the patterning for that, because that's going to be a little bit of a tricky pattern to make sure it fits properly. I have to see if I have any extra spandex in my stash, because I definitely know that front mesh panel is going to be spandex. So I need to get spandex to replicate a little bit of that. So we'll see. I don't know if I have spandex in my stash though at the moment. I tend not to work a lot with spandex, but that is definitely a costume that needs it. I'm gonna need to get some fishnet fabric, and a whole bunch of other things. So I'm very curious to see how that's gonna work out. So I'm going to be excited to wear that. That's gonna be a fun piece of media to wear. Not that I don't think Katsucon is going to be oversaturated with nothing but jinxes, but yeah. So I gotta find a way to make it my own. One thing I think I would like to try to do is get an airbrush kit and do what they were doing at some of the premieres, and that was use like almost like glow in the dark paint, and paint the clouds, her cloud tattoos onto people, and I was like, I like that a lot. I want to do that. So that might be something I consider. We have a square. So instead of going to the iron, I'm actually going to use my ironing pad and iron it flat, and then like do very small edges. I think I'm gonna do a baby hem on this, and I'll explain how that goes. I wish I had a ruler you can iron on. So it would make the lines so easy and crisp. To make the lines crisp. If you happen to hear Raging Gamer, that's my kid in the background. He's in his room, but I could close my door, but I don't want to get too hot in here. So this pad used to be like my friend many moons ago, especially when I was like sewing in my parents' house. I didn't really I have a really weird story of like where I lived for a majority of my life. So obviously I lived with my parents, and then I had gotten married, and gotten an apartment. This was my first marriage. I had gotten an apartment. We lived there for a few years, and then my ex-husband and I separated. I went back to live with my parents. Now, normally that wouldn't have been a big deal. However, I didn't have access to my old room. Not because my parents took my old room, because I had another family member who needed a place to stay live in my room at that time. So I didn't have my old bedroom back. And I wound up sleeping on the couch in a sofa bed for about a year's time, if not more, before the relative left, and I then went into the process, my father then went into the process of attempting to renovate the room, because the room was not in good shape after the relative left. Not that the relative did anything terrible, it was just, it needed to get fixed before anyway. So we decided to update the room. And then we had several relatives living in our house during the first few years that I was living with my parents after the breakup of my first marriage. I was displaced throughout most of it, which was crazy because I was probably the more active cosplaying during that time than I am now. But I used cosplay as an escape back then and was able to just essentially not be in those feelings. And so I would craft on a corner of my parents' dining room table. So like we had the computer desk. There was a little spot where I had a bin full of like crafting supplies, and my sewing machine was like on the edge of that table, and I used to use this mat frequently. It was like you could cut on it. It's a cutting mat and an ironing mat at the same time. So I forgot to turn off my alarm for today. I don't even know how I crafted, to be quite honest. There was so much that I don't even know how I did it, but I did it somehow, some way, some shape, some form. The crafting happened, and it was wild. So this mat has been with me for many years now. It is the Omnigrid mat. This is for when I want to try to use a rotary cutter and stuff like that. I never have massive success with rotary cutters, so I don't tend to use them very frequently, but once in a while I do. And once in a while they work. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do a baby hem on this kerchief. And the thing with a baby hem is you do a lot of sewing and ironing, and then you just kind of cut fabric and sew again. Because you want to make it as small and as tiny as possible. Small and tiny as possible. So this is why I was like, ooh, I wish I had my ruler that I could iron on, because it would make it so much easier. But yeah, this is what we do. We do this. So let's see. We're gonna get this ready for a baby hem, and I can think about, I don't know, what have I been doing? I've been getting ready for Christmas. I've been decorating my house for the holidays. Just because I want to be able to enjoy seeing my house in holiday mode. I've lost a red table runner, and I can't find a table runner. And I could probably make one, but I liked the one I had. The one I had was really nice. and it was linen. So I don't want to spend money sewing up a linen table runner. I don't. But I don't want to buy another one because that's a waste. However, I realize if I do buy another one and I happen to find the original, it won't go to waste because I actually have a table I could use it on and it wouldn't. It would be fine. So there is that. But I'm still very upset because I was able to find all my other table runners and they are right where they're supposed to be. But my red one is not. The placemats are there, but not the runner. So I don't know what happened to it. It must have not been in the spot where I thought it was when everything got packed up, because it really should have just been with the rest of the runners. So for it not to have been there, I don't know where it went. It looks like it's going to rain. Holy cow. Okay, so this is done with the baby hem. Okay. I don't want to worry about the corners yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this edge and the opposite edge first, and then come back and iron the other sides and fold them in so I can have a nice small hem that I could easily basically miter into one another. I shouldn't be ironing on the plastic side, but I want to make sure the line is straight. So that's what we're doing now. Making sure this line is straight. See, it didn't go straight here. This is what we need to fix right now. Actually, let's flip it. Makes it easier this way. So okay, that side's done. I think the other side's done. Okay, let me just sew this side together and the other side. I actually am excited because Netflix made a season 2 of a show called The Empress. It's one of those historical dramas. Not like Bridgerton romance historical. No, we're talking like they took history and they are talking about the events of history. Believe it's about the fall of the Austrian court. Yeah, it's a drama. It is. Oh, it's the Viennese court. I'm sorry. It's the Viennese court. And it was originally done in German. It's a German drama. It's a German historical drama about based on the life of Empress Elizabeth of Austria and her marriage to Emperor Franz Joseph. And it's really good. I watched it in English. I've heard people say that you should watch it in the German language. I need to let Misako know about this. She might like it. But yeah, it's basically Sissy falls in love with Franz when he was intended to marry her older sister, and then they married, and arriving in Vienna, Sissy finds herself navigating the complexity of court politics and her husband's scheming family. And there was like, it ended that she was stopping the revolts that the peasants had against the Austrian court, because the Austrian court was very lavished and very rich and had lots of food, and they were starving and dying and had nothing. So, you know, normal royalty stuff. So season 2 of that got released today, I believe, or is being released today. And then, of course, there's like the final part of Arcane season 2, which that's airing this weekend. I'm not even gonna lie, I wound up binging Arcane without trying. I just really enjoyed the show so fast. Like, I fell into it really quickly. But it is my type of story. I'm not even like going to lie. I like stories like that. Stories that are complex, have a lot of flair, intrigue. It's not just people, it's how the government affects their lives or politics affects their lives, like all those things. I am a sucker for that. I love that. And it gave me all of that. Plus, it gave me like fantasy sci-fi stuff, which, hello, I love it. So, I had no qualms with going through Arcane pretty quickly. Meanwhile, at night, my husband and I are watching like Akaneko Ramen. And if you don't know what Akaneko Ramen is, it's a treat. Akaneko Ramen is essentially, it was released, I want to say summer season, last summer, this past summer, and it was a ramen shop run by cats and the human that comes to work with the human that comes to work with them. That's it. So I'm off watching riveting plot of historical dramas or like various fantastical events, and I watch cats making ramen with my husband at night because he enjoys cats and he likes living a very simple, passive life. So I don't hate, but it's one of those funny things. It's like, and this is my life with my husband. Okay, so the trick with doing a baby ham is you want to make sure you take the baby ham. Hold on. Okay, the trick to making a baby hem is you want to sew one set of stitches as close to the edge as you can and then cut off the excess before folding it over and sewing it again. Like you have to iron and press, but like this is the first step. So I'm gonna put it as close to the edge as I can to get it as close to the edge of the fabric as humanly possible. I want my baby hem. Save. Okay. I always have a hard time being able to. Okay, so let's do this baby hem real fast. My presser foot's flipped upside. There we go. Again, going as close to the edge as I possibly can so we can work on this neck scarf or kerchief for Niffty from Hazbin Hotel. This project has been a labor of love. I've been working on it for a bit now. Although I will admit, I haven't been working on it nearly as long as I think I've been. Like, I feel like this has been endless, but at the same time, I only ever work on her on stream, with the exception of like maybe one or two small things I did off stream. But I only work on her during stream, and I tend to like really follow a lot of, some people may say, unnecessary steps to make it a very functional garment, but I have a very high standard of how I want my sewing to look, so I don't like rushing it. I like taking my time and doing what I can. So that's it. So yeah, I think this week I'm gonna try to see if I sneak in a couple of episodes of The Empress, because that's gonna be fun to watch. But then I also want to see if I can what do you call it? I'll watch Arcane this weekend. And I want to decorate my Christmas tree. But tomorrow I'm gonna be so busy from like morning to night, and I'm just not looking forward to it. Like Thursday this week is like the day that I'm like, I can't. I don't want to. I really don't want to do anything tomorrow, but like I have so much going on. I have to take my car to the mechanic because I'm noticing my braking isn't what it should be, and that worries me. So I'm double checking to make sure my rotors and brakes are good. Also too, today I got my oil change. Didn't think much of it. And now my check engine light is on my traction and my four-wheel drive, which means they most likely messed up a sensor while they were changing my oil. Or the car thinks there's low oil because they use one of those machines that literally siphon out all the oil and then they put in oil. So I think my car is highly confused. So I have to have the mechanic look at that tomorrow too. Not looking forward to that. And then my pest company is coming to do pest treatment. In the evening before the Baldur's Gate stream, I have to take Kiddo to see to a doctor's appointment. He's gonna see his therapist for the first time, his new therapist. I'm like, can life be more crazy on Thursday? Like, I don't know if I have enough energy, if I have enough, spoons in my system to deal with this because clearly I don't know what I was thinking. Now, it will get through the day. However, I might not be very vivacious on Friday, but that's fine because Friday I literally have my stream and that's it. So, my sewing stream and that's it. So, I'm trying to think if on Friday after Thanksgiving, if it's worth doing the stream or just taking time off. I'll be home, but I don't know if we're gonna do anything that day. So it's like one of those, is it worth stream time? I don't know. I mean, maybe I might just do it. Or if I do it, maybe I might do it early and then we can do something later. I don't know. I haven't decided. That's something I'm curious. I'm like trying to figure out. Where is my thing? All right. Black fabric sucks to show off anything, but I will do my best. I feel like the red fabric I was using was also bad. So as you see, I stitched it as close to the edge as possible, and I am going to press it and then trim off this as close to the stitch lines as possible. So this excess fabric that's here is gonna go, and then I'm gonna put it as close as I can there and then fold it over again and then sew that down. But first I'm gonna sew these sides down, but I want these sides kind of done. I need to start getting my extra keyboard over here with me so I can do things pretty quickly. Okay, we're gonna iron this flat. I should do it on this side. Now I could also make this hem blind, like a invisible hem, like blind stitch it down, but I don't wanna. I honestly don't want to spend time doing that by hand when I can do it by machine. Keep reminding myself, it's not a competition piece. Stop treating it like such. If the lighting changed, the sun came out again. Right now we have like these gnarly clouds outside that are just like dark storm clouds of doom, and then suddenly clear blue skies that just look beautiful. I don't know what's happening outside. I'm very confused. Alrighty, so yeah, but I'm thinking if I do stream after the Friday after Thanksgiving, I might just work on doing her eye. I think that would be a cool thing to work on, personally. Okay, so we're gonna cut the excess off. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna iron it flat so it gets a little bit more stuff here. I can cut it a little easier. This is always so nerve-wracking, making sure you do it as close as you can. And since these scissors are so sharp now, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna cut all the fabric. I don't know, I feel like using my nippers. Because I feel like these scissors are so heavy and they're weighing me down. Where are my snippers go? Ah, this weight's much better. Don't get me wrong, the other scissors are perfectly fine. It's just that they're too heavy. And because of that, I'm very scared I'm not going to get close enough. So because of that, I'd rather use a smaller pair. Yeah, it's going to take me longer to cut across, but I have more control over the motion than with the larger pair of scissors. So okay. Like, why did I do that? Now I know why I don't do that. But you got it. You got it. Okay. Yes, using these little ones are just so much easier. I can actually like control it so much better. Sometimes you just gotta go with things that work easier for you than what other people say, because we don't all have these same points of access. Also too, I've had, I'm sure it's a mixture of carpal tunnel and tendonitis in this hand, which I shouldn't be crafting at all because of that. Or I should be crafting way on a more minimal scale than I do. But because of that, using certain tools isn't helpful for me. In fact, it makes it more difficult because my hand gets tired and fatigued way too quickly. So again, once this is done, I'll be able to, no, so I cut off all the excess as close to the edge as possible. It looks like it's almost just stitching, which is great. And then I just fold it over and do it like that. Now you could also do this with a, I think it's called a banyan. And basically what banyan is a tape that is like a hatched tape that you can just tear away from the fabric after you do it. I don't have that. Also, this is a very small amount. I would probably suggest getting something like that for like circle skirts, giant ball gowns if you're going to do baby hems on them, because that's just yard after yard of fabric. This is a tiny bit of fabric. It's not necessary to use something like that, but it will also make your life easier too. So, and then you don't have to worry about cutting too deep into the cut and almost cut the seam lines. So I'm not too concerned about that, especially now that I'm using my smaller scissors because I have a lot more control with them. I say that as I think I cut into my fabric. generally have more control with them. Like, I wouldn't be doing this for like a full-length ball gown that's like 2 or 3 circle skirts combined. Nope. That's suicide. That's not something. I would rather use that, I think it's banyan tape to help that a lot, because yeah. Why overwork yourself when you can do it with greater ease? So there's that. Okay, so these 2 sides are done, which is fantastic. Let me do the other side and then I can fold it again. So actually this time I think I'm gonna measure it over here and make sure I do the fold straight, not confused like it was last time. So let's do it this way. This poor mat has so many things on it. It's not even funny. Like, this mat has a lot of stuff on it. Actually, what am I talking about? I might be able to do my stream on Wednesday. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Oh no, but I'm like thinking about the Friday stream, because I'm planning on doing the Wednesday stream. Or I might do it. I have to see what is the outcome of my car first before I make that decision. Because I have to see what I might have to do, if I have to get any repairs done. How soon can that happen? So yeah. That's a question mark moment. So I'm thinking about probably doing my stream on Wednesday. It might be a little later, like maybe noon, maybe 1, because I have an appointment that morning. It's at 10. I might be able to get here in time, but I don't want to rush myself, so I'm thinking noon might be a good time, lunchtime. I've started streaming at noon, so it's not like a huge deal. 12:31. It's another day that my offspring is home from school, because he starts his break day early. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving, and then Friday, I don't know what we're going to be doing Friday. Friday we might just be home. So unless we take a short trip to the ATL. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. For some reason, this is not... I don't think the iron's as hot. Let me see now, because I feel like it keeps popping up and it shouldn't be. There we go. Yep. The iron lost its heat. Okay. Double check here. Like I said, I'm taking small victories today. Everything's been feeling lately very... I've been getting a lot done, but at the same time, I've been feeling a lot of overwhelm. I think it's just reality kicking in about everything I would like to do, where am I going with life, and so on. So I'm really struggling with that in my life right now, because I keep telling myself that I have time to do things, but at the same time I'm worried I don't. And not that's to be like fatalist or like dark and sinister, it's just one of those, you never know. And I think that's where those fears and concerns come from. More the fact of I don't know what's going to happen in life. So I'm just trying to keep things focused, try to maintain my joy. I also want to like start getting back into working out again and getting that routine back into order, because for a while I had it, I was doing it, and then we dealt with the move and all the craziness that came with it, and I haven't really been able to find that groove again, and it's really bothering me. So I need to get my health back in order, and that's important for me. So I'm going to really try to focus on that and really try to figure out how to get it back in my life. The only problem is I was like, oh, I'll start, getting everything prepared for like December, and I'm like, oh, I have a short trip that I need to do in December that might not make that easy. We shall see what I can do. I mean, I can still try. So okay. I got that done. Also, it's funny because I'm like wearing my giant long duster sweater, and I used to live in these sweaters when I was teaching years ago. This was like my jam, my style. Like, I have a really long sweater that like hit my knees, and I used to dress very like, back then I used to call it like more like chic femme, masculine femme. I used to wear ties a lot to work. Like I used to wear button down shirts and throw a tie on, or like have like a regular V-neck shirt with a tie on just because I thought it was cute. A lot of the shirts I wore, sweaters I wore that were long like this were like men's sweaters, and I loved them so much. They were so comfortable. They were the best. That was just my style. And it was funny because like I had like long hair too. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? This is my style, man. And it's kind of cool that like I can come back to that era slightly. I mean, right now I'm calling this like my viejita chic, my granny chic at the moment, because I'm living that old lady granny viejita life. I just realized that was not a good spot to start, because that's the corner, and the corner just literally caved into itself. Move up a little bit, girl. again, I have my machine set to the pace of a turtle. And I say turtle because my sewing machine, the speed is literally described as turtle to hare. So turtle being slow and hare being very fast. That is one of the endearing things about the sewing machine. How they define speed. I'm like, really? Turtle and hare? I have really nothing to talk about. Everything's been so, like, pretty much boring, which I'm not gonna complain. When things are calm and quiet, I embrace it because I tend to live in, like, a life of chaos. My family tends to be quite chaotic, so when nothing is happening, nothing's happening. My mom had my grandma's 30th. My mom made had a dinner last Friday for my grandma's 90th birthday. And apparently it went well without a hitch. And I'm very happy for my grandma that she was able to see her family members and, you know, everyone got to celebrate. Everyone who said they would show up did, which we were all surprised about. I'm just sad I missed it. But I will be seeing her soon, so I'm not too upset about that. But it would have been cool to have been there and see the whole family. And then that's like really, but they've been quiet otherwise. My family, like nothing major's happened with them. Currently, my dad has surgery coming up in the beginning of December that I will be flying up to New York to help them out with. So I'll be up there the first week of December just to help them out with whatever they might have issues with. But that's really it. Hopefully the surgery, everything turns out okay, and the surgery helps with the issue that he's facing at the moment. But we will find out once that's done. You won't know before then. And so I think that's why everything's kind of quiet right now, because my dad's been dealing with that, and that's really it. Okay, let's iron this flat again. And then we'll cut off the excess, and then I can fold and sew all four sides together at the same time, which is going to be cool. And then I can fold her kerchief up and iron it in place, and then we have a scarf for our psychotic 1950s housewife, who I believe murdered her husband. Or at least that's one of the lores I've heard for Niffty. Or she murdered a boyfriend, something like that. I've heard a few different legends and lore possibilities, so curious to see. So. Again, using the small nippers because it gives me a little bit more control. I should do it on the other side. It's a little easier for me to do it. Yeah, huh? Yeah, the other way. If I was left-handed, the other way would work. This way. This way, it's a little easier to get closer to the edge and not cause issues. So. So I met people from my writing group on Tuesday. And that was interesting. Again, I'm like the only fantasy writer in the bunch. One writes young adult. The other generally writes romance but wishes to branch out into other genres. But she mentioned mystery and stuff, and I believe the other one is also a romance writer. So I'm excited to have this new group of people because the last group I had, though I enjoyed their company a lot, we kind of lost connection after the holidays, and like not even during the holidays. It was like we were able to maintain stuff after the holidays, but then like when the spring and summer started getting closer, that's when everything really fell apart. And we all were having like a lot of insane things happening in our personal lives at that time, so it was difficult to get back together. So I think I might try to reach out to the group again and see if they want to like meet as well, because I did enjoy their time, even if it was just something like sit and like chat about life and stuff. I think that's what we did the most, so it was nice to socialize with them. But this new group, I'm trying to like use it as a way to really keep myself accountable and focused on what I need to do. So I am going to make sure I have an outline drafted for the group to look at, and I think I'm gonna give myself the deadline of like the Friday before the Friday after Thanksgiving to have quite a bit of it done, because I want to give myself like this weekend and maybe sometime next week to really at least get the seed ideas done. I mean, I made a mood board and I have like inspirational art. None that I would ever use to actually what do you call it? Share, because I'm pretty sure most of it is AI generated, which, because I use Pinterest is basically a cesspool of AI generated art at this moment, which sucks. I wish I could find real artists, but at the same time, I'm not going to pay I don't want to pay a bunch of money to get a rendering for something that I can like potentially save and use that to buy a book cover or something. Like, there's reasons why I'm not doing it just yet. I just realized I made a mistake. I was supposed to do a basting stitch, but it's okay. It's okay. We won't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno. Now I'm gonna start using my pins to hold a lot of this in place because it'll just be easier. I really should probably, you know what I probably will do? That will make my life so much easier. Probably do a basting stitch on this, because that's what we do here. We baste everything. Okay, And since I'm basting, I'm gonna sit down. Because basting takes time and energy. Time and energy. Energy and time. I'm very tired right now. Very tired. Which is crazy because I think last night was the first night I slept uninterrupted since this weekend. Like Sunday night, I had a hard time sleeping. Monday night, I had a hard time sleeping. Tuesday, last night, I slept very well. And I say that was because I drank some cider during my D&D game last night. Because I am trying to drink, we bought like 6 giant, they call them growlers. So they're like the reusable bottles. And we got 6 more coming in February. So we need to drink those. And since I haven't been feeling too well, I haven't drank them. And last night I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drink a little bit. And it wasn't even that big. It was like a little, like 4-ounce cup or something that I drank, and it wasn't that much, but whatever it did helped me sleep like a baby. I slept like a baby last night. So, however, I'm just overall tired to begin with, so I don't know what's going on with life. So we're just gonna do this slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. I played myself the other day. I was trying to clip, well, I thought I was clipping content so I could put it on social media of like the various streams working on this project to like give like a small insight of like what I've been working on, because I haven't been posting on my social medias as much as I should have, right? So I'm going through the whole thing. I'm in the highlight section. And I was like, wait, I was supposed to be clipping these things. So I kind of gave up. Like I said, I played myself. I was doing it. I was like, oops. Yeah, I made a mistake there. So I didn't even bother to continue. But I did archive all the past VODs. So before they like die out and stuff like that, they are now cataloged properly and they are stored. So I have all the footage that I have done of this dress, of this costume so far. I have it, so I'm happy about that. But I was like, I want social media clips. I was supposed to be clipping, not highlighting. And I'm like, why? Why did I do that? So I felt like a fool. So now I don't know when I'm gonna be able to start clipping. I might clip tomorrow. I'm waiting for the mechanic so I can start making some social media clips. Like I'll watch some of the VODs on high speed and like clip what I wanted to clip. But yeah, your girl was not having her best moments yesterday. This wasn't even yesterday, this was like Monday. Monday I did a lot. I also think I'm tired because I've just been doing a lot of physical work. Like I've been cleaning, moving things around, getting the house together. Like yesterday I cleaned all 3 bathrooms. 1, 2, 3, one after the other. I mean, granted, one of them is essentially the function of a half bath, though it is a full bath, but we only really use the washroom area of it, like the toilet area, not actually like the shower, because it's the guest bath. Because we don't have a half bath, we have master, we have not master, a main bath that's in our suite. We have the second floor bath, and the first floor bath is connected to the guest bathroom, the guest bedroom. However, we use it as a half bath, so I generally don't clean the shower because no one uses it. We just literally use the toilet and the sink, so I just clean the toilet, the sink, and mop the floor. When we have guests, I will clean the bath, the tub area, but the shower area, but at this point there is no need to do that. So I'm always trying to find ways to like make my life a little easier, and that's one of them. I got my robot vacuum. Oh my gosh, yes, that was very important. So in my first house we had like light wood floors, and now we have very dark, almost black wood floors. So I've been desperately wanting to get my iRobot up and running, and now she is doing her thing, and I'm just very happy. So yes. Okay, so right now I'm basting the area that I'm going to eventually do the baby hem on. I was going to use pins, but it's going to be harder to have the pins hold the fabric in place than if I just sew it quickly into place. So I'm just basting it together. And now we're on to the other side. Okay. This is going to be fun. No, it's not. Oh, I should really just clip that down. That will make my life so much easier if I do that. Voila. Now, see, the issue with these baby hems are they're just so tiny, super tiny. Oh wow, they're hard to really maneuver because you're trying to keep everything tight and small and condensed into the point. And I got long nails, so my nails do not make this easy at all for me. Okay. I'm gonna hold it in place with a pin while I thread my needle. Should have threaded the needle before anything, but here we are, trying to make life easy for me. Okay, there we go. I really should get my brace, now that I think about it. Hold on one moment. I think I'm gonna go get my brace. Let me go do that. And then I'm gonna move the camera and bring it a little closer here. There we go. I think it'll look better that way. I'll be right back. suddenly have the urge to eat something sweet. It always happens to me. Like I suddenly just want sweets. Or a snack. Like eat some crackers or something. I don't know why I'm always so hungry. Okay. No. So. Okay. We're on this side now. Let's see. Will I be able? Okay, hold on. Trying to. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No. Gotta move this out of the way. I should put the thread on this side so it doesn't have to go across and under. Okay, I think this is better. Again, I like basting. It just makes my life so much easier when I'm sewing. So I just let it be. I don't have to baste all the time, but I've been noticing as I've been working on this project specifically, just basting has been the eternal lifesaver to ensure everything is just working perfectly fine. So I am not even upset by that. So okay, pull it through. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Yeah, but I'm figuring if I start patterning the Sunset Dragon Jinx dress before holiday, I can hopefully get to the garment district in Manhattan and buy some really good fabrics for this outfit. And probably not break the bank. Because there are just sometimes I'm like, it's pricey. I gotta figure out how am I gonna do some of the design elements on it. Do I want to airbrush? Airbrush might be fun, actually. I think that would work really well for her. Like, do some HTV vinyl, some heat transfer vinyl, decals, and airbrush them so they look more like painted on and stuff, because it's like most of like the stuff she has going on has a very graffiti quality to it, and I would love to play up on that. So that's something I'm gonna think about, because I think if I can use HTV and airbrush stuff on, it's gonna just make it look really rad. I think that would be a really good idea there. So I'm cool with that. I really am cool with that idea of doing it that way, because I feel that would help create more the stylistic elements that is an arcane. So I think that might be something I can do. I definitely want to get a really pretty like satin though for most of the dress, and then play around with certain elements like get pleathers and fishnets. That would work out really well. Although actually I kind of know what fabric I want to use for her, but I don't think they have it in a color that matches her dress, and that is liquid satin. It literally looks like water. It just has like this shine to it that's just gorgeous. So I might have to bite the bullet and see. Although, like I said, I'll go to Garment District and see what they have, because they may have something very similar that I don't have to go crazy looking for or ordering online. So yeah, but I've been eyeing a specific fabric that's in a small shop in at least I've gotten the ads from a small shop in Texas. It's a Mexican owned shop in Texas that they use something called liquid satin, and it just looks freaking gorgeous. Huh, got the miter dead. Gotcha like a Pokemon. So I'm still doing my Gilmore Girls rewatch. I'm up to the part where Luke and Lorelai break up and Rory is actively pursuing Logan. And I got to the scene where Logan and Rory are making out at her grandparents' vow renewal. And her mom catches them, then her dad, then Luke. And I'm like, you know, the poor dude. Like, poor guy. Like, Dean just got caught by her mom, you know, after they had, you know, what is it called again? They had oh my gosh, what is the term? They I can't think of the word right now. Consummated. When they had consummated. They had consummated, and Lorelai kind of catches them and is like, "Hey, I'm not happy about that." And then you start wondering, like, how would Jess or Dean had reacted to that situation Logan was put into, because Logan was kind of like, yikes. So, cutting off my circulation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Sometimes the brace is helpful and manages the pain, other times it does not, and it's not, and like sometimes it's not even pain, it's just like numbness of my fingers and hands. So I'm eventually, what's happening is I haven't been wearing my brace at night, and that's where I'm having like problems, because I should be wearing it at night and I'm not. I'm being very stubborn, so I'm hurting myself a lot. Also too, sometimes I have been wearing it and I take it off while I'm sleeping. In my sleep I just rip it off and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, did I not go to bed with my brace on? Or I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, pull it off, and then like just crawl right back into bed. Don't remember to put it back on, so it's not fun. So people are gonna be like, you're pathetic. You've spent like almost 2 hours and you haven't finished this. You know what I'll tell those people? My life, my handkerchief. I want to take 5 hours making it. I will. See if I can actually do what I did here. Hold on. Oh, that's why I have to do it on this side. Okay. Bringing it too close to me and no one can see what I'm doing. So here we go. I'm going to try to move it up here. Okay, there we go. So right now I'm just trying to curl this in to give it a mitered look. It just looks fancier that way. Let's pull out the thread here. The beauty of having long nails and the curse. Because if my nails weren't this long, I might be able to get this done faster. I feel like I should use my sticker tweezers. I'm gonna pull this through again. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, we got this. This one's here. Almost. We almost got it. Did not survive. Watch me bumble my way through this. Okay, actually, let me put some heat to this corner. Maybe that may help me out a little bit. I keep hearing like something banging on my window, and I'm like, what is going on? And I think what it is just the wind. Okay, let me iron that corner down. But my iron is twisted with the cord here. Ugh. Go home, you're drunk. Okay. Will anybody know or care if this corner is mitered? No. Do I care? Yes. haven't heard that one. Guess maybe during different times of the day, they slip on different ones. I want to say this too loud because I think he might hear me. But I think my kiddo's listening to Black Griffin. I kind of know the voice at this point after listening to so many Alistair stuff. But I'm like, what are you listening to? Okay. I think I got something. I think I got it. I just want one of them to come out, not... There we go. I might have to just give up on this corner. It's being very difficult. It's a very small hem. I shouldn't be that mad at myself for not being able to get it, but I really am. I'm like, no, must do, must have, must succeed somehow. Okay, I don't know if that's even gonna hold, but it's there. Okay. I think I got it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for dinner tonight. We have leftovers, so I think I might just stick with leftovers tonight. I don't think there's a ton of leftovers, but I think it's enough to fuel us. Also, too, I realized I have to go buy rice. I'm running low on rice. But yeah, I think I might just heat up. We had gotten a chicken from Costco on Monday, so I think I might just pull out the chicken from Costco and use that as the protein. I have vegetables I made last night. I made some bok choy, and I made some eggplant planning about garlic sauce, so I think those are going to be pulled out. And I don't know. There might be leftover rice. We also have like potatoes. Ooh, maybe I might make sweet potato fries and have some sweet potato fries with. Oh, actually, no, I have white sweet potato. Maybe I'll eat potato. It's like my favorite thing. So I think I might be doing that tonight for dinner. Not really stressing myself out about what to make. So maybe I'll just steam some sweet potatoes and make some of the eggplant, heat up the vegetables from last night. If we need extra vegetable, I have napa and zucchini and broccoli. Oh, I have a ton of broccoli. Maybe I just steam some broccoli. Throw in more vegetable there. I'm trying not to eat as many carbs as I used to in the past because it's not helpful to my digestive system, I've realized. So I don't eat as many carbs. Not that I can't consume them. I can. I just can't consume a boat ton. Whereas before it was like bread and flour all day, every day. And it's like, no. My stomach is like, no, child. Do not consume. Do not eat. So I was trying to watch a lot of things about I'm into astrology. I really like learning about like how the stars, the positions of the planets seem to correlate with a few events that happen. It's like, not an exact science at all by any means, but it is very much a thought process that happens there. And apparently yesterday was a very important transit amongst the planets, and it was Pluto has now finally ingressed, or is now moved into the sign of Aquarius, which is kind of funny because, back in the day they had that song Age of Aquarius, when really the Age of Aquarius hasn't begun until like now, and that was like in the 70s. So just goes to show you how crazy things are. But with the shifting of Pluto into Aquarius, they're expecting quite a few things to change and happen, because Pluto is a very slow moving planet. It takes a long time to go through the astrological chart because it moves so slowly. So the next time Pluto will shift signs and it will go into the sign of Pisces won't be until like 2044, because it moves that slow. It's like normally like a 30-40 year transit. That's like, it's a long time. It takes a long time for Pluto to move anywhere. So it's interesting to see like how this new transit's going to shape out. Like, obviously, since it is a slow moving planet, just because it went into Aquarius yesterday doesn't mean everything's going to happen in one shot. It's going to take time. It's going to take energy, because it's going to take time because the planet itself moves slowly. So anything that's going to happen with it will happen in time. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen a week from now. It's going to take time. But also too, we have a lot of other things happening, like Mercury's moving into retrograde again. Mercury goes into retrograde at least 3 times a year, 2 to 3 to 4 times a year. and it's because it's one of the fastest moving planets. And it will always move retrograde. And what retrograde means, in case anyone was interested, is it means that the planet appears to be moving backwards. Not that it is, but it appears to be moving backwards. So when it moves backwards, it doesn't change signs. It doesn't go forward in the zodiac sign. It actually returns back to a sign it previously was in. And generally when it does that, it's because it wants you to reevaluate, reanalyze what was going on. Like, what were you doing? What were you figuring out? What were you doing and planning when the sign was in, when Mercury was in that previous sign? So it's moving back to, which sign is it moving back to? I'm trying to remember. Mercury is, now if I look at my notebook, I can tell you, because I actually track this stuff. It's kind of funny. Off sewing topic. So here I have I put every month where the signs are and stuff. And I didn't do it for September, but I did it for November. And it is, Mercury is going back into Sagittarius. And it actually, we're in what they call the shadow period. So that means it's slowing down. And then it slows down before it retrogrades, and then after it retrogrades, it starts going back into place where it should be, and it won't go back into the sign of, it won't go back direct until December 15th, and then it'll go back into, and it obviously it's in Sagittarius, but it's at its end sign, so it's just going to continue moving, and then it's going to move to Capricorn. That's the next sign it moves back into. So yeah, we got quite a bit happening. Like tomorrow, Sagittarius begins, and I basically use what I do is I write when the transit's happening, and I follow, there's a website I follow, it's astrology.com, and they have a calendar, and they give little blurbs for each one, but then I put what house it hits in my personal chart. So Mercury going retrograde in my fourth house. Fourth house is the fourth house is the house of Cancer, so it's your home, your family, your taking care of your home. It's essentially your home, your immediate family. So what are the themes I need to pay attention to in my home and family? So if it's going direct, it's going retrograde, it's allow stillness, things get hectic and feel out of control. So something might be happening in my home with my immediate family that may cause some chaos or some discomfort that I would need to start working out through. And then eventually, by the time it goes direct in December, it says here, Sagittarius guide you in a new direction for next year. So basically, whatever's happening here in the house, I should have made an answer and understood what is going on, and then I'll be able to implement any of those lessons I've learned and apply them to my home and my family and get things ready. And for me, it's funny because Pluto is ingressed into Aquarius, and it's, like I said, it's going to be there for the next 20 years. And it's in my sixth house, and my sixth house is daily routines, health, work, your everyday mundane stuff. And like I said earlier, I want to get back into working out, getting myself together, trying to figure out how am I gonna maintain my home, balance my home, my family, and my projects, whether it's sewing, writing, streaming. How is all that going to play on? And that's my daily routine. So I'm going to go into this new season of Aquarius being in Pluto being in Aquarius and really trying to implement that. But the issue is Aquarius isn't a personal sign. It's a sign about relationships, but it's not relationships with individuals, it's relationships with a broader group. Not even like, so a broader group, not, you have intimate like family relationships, you have one-on-one personal relationships, and then you have collective relationships. So it's interesting that, you know, I have started doing all this streaming and everything, and I want to continue doing it. I need to figure out how it fits in my home and everything. And I want to have that as part of my daily life. So how am I incorporating having my bitrate dropped big time right now. My bitrate went boom. Actually, it's not that, it's this camera. Okay, we're back. Be nice to the camera. I need to look it from down here. I always forget, if I don't do it from the hinge, it won't hinge up properly. Oof. That sounded worse than what it was. I forgot how heavy that thing is. Okay. Let's get this kerchief done. And I'm gonna start working on the pattern for the apron. I don't like it. That's coming out. Already, I am not happy with that stitch. No, that's not what I wanted. It started shifting too much, so now I feel like it went off center. And my camera can... Whoa. Don't do that, buddy. Come on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I feel like it's shifted completely and it's not gonna grab the fabric underneath, and it's just gonna start making it fall. It's gonna unravel and it's gonna make a big old mess. So I'm going to pull this little seam out. I didn't go that far, thank goodness, when I noticed how terrible it was moving. That's the one thing I will say about these baby hems. They are a pain in the butt sometimes. Sometimes they are not the easiest things to do. Yes, that came out quite easily. Yay! Thank you. Okay. Okay. Oop. I don't like how that felt there. There we go. Sometimes when you're sewing, you just need to feel the machine, and the machine will have little tugs and stuff that you're like, this isn't right. That doesn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right, maybe don't start sewing. I know sometimes people are like, oh no, it's fine, it'll go through. And it's like, if it's giving you resistance, there might be a reason why. And you might wanna listen to the resistance. I feel bad for my husband. His computer's been out of commission since last week. Something happened with like the cooling gauge or something, he said. And he ordered a new one and it came in yesterday and I was like, oh yay, you can finally start playing your games again and you know, I won't feel so bad for you. And the cooling gauge was defective. It was bent. So he couldn't use it. So I actually had to run out and return it and send it back to Newegg. And hopefully the new one should be here, hopefully maybe this weekend. But it's just like, are you kidding me? Why is this happening to you? And I offered my PC to him because I have like a monster PC. But I'm like, he's like, I don't like the way it plays. I don't like it. I'm not used to it. Your keyboard's weird. And I'm like, it's not weird. You're not used to my keyboard. So. Let's see if that works. I hope it does. Jeez. Okay. Nope. It's doing that pulling thing. Maybe it would have been better if I would have just done this by hand. Hand stitch the whole thing down. Nah, I don't want to do that. Half of these things are going to be covered up anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, come on, don't do that, buddy. Now, of course, a lot of my grief is just the sheer fact that I'm doing a baby hem on this. Had I just done a regular hem, it wouldn't have been so much of a grief, but the baby hem, not so much. And not this fabric. It's pulling again. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Oh wow, it's already 5. Look at that. Depending on the day, I'm normally starting dinner at this time. Especially if I have to do things at like 7 or 8. I'm like already like getting things in order for it, so. Okay. Hmm? Okay. Wow. Sometimes I see the news and I'm just like, that's a wild story. Oh, you are kidding me, right? No, you're not. You're not kidding me. Okay, we're just gonna come out then. We're just gonna come out because that was sad. That was a sad moment. My corner came undone, and I'm just like, no, that did not just happen. Yeah, it absolutely did. So I'm like, nope. So my pins, my pins are behind the camera. Okay. Now I'm curious to know where the pin I just had went. I have to check the floor. Gotta be careful. Don't want anybody to get a pin stuck in their foot, so. I'm very curious to see what people are going to be bringing to KatsuCon in general. I haven't gone to KatsuCon in a few years now, and it feels like a fever dream. I'm not even gonna lie. The last time I went, was before the pandemic, and it's just like that con actually happened. So. I don't like this. I don't like the way that feels. As you could hear, the machine's not making a very nice sound either. So I'm like very hesitant to continue to sew normally. It's getting dark out now. Actually, no, it's still pretty bright out. Goodness. The house is getting dark outside in the hallway. Like the light needs to be put on in the hallway. But outside we still have plenty of sun. I will forever love that fact about living in the South. We just get a little bit more sunlight. Just a little bit more, and it just makes everything feel so much better for me. We did something weird again. Here I was thinking, oh, the baby hem is going to be so quick and so fast. This is why I'm always trying to prepare for the worst whenever I work on a project. I'm like, oh, this is not going to work. This is going to be horrible. This is going to suck. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. No, I need to move over here more. There we go. It was like when I worked on iHoshino. Everything was going great. Till I put the side back in the side and until I mixed up the side back and the side front. And suddenly everything was chaos. So trust me, sometimes you don't even realize what's happening until after it happens and you're like, oh, my bad. It's doing that thing again. Lift up. Don't get stuck in there. Gotta go up a little bit more. I think we're on the last side. I think I got... Yep, I'm on my last side. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Ooh. Like posture check. Give myself a moment and I need to adjust myself because I'm feeling the tension in my back and my shoulders and I know I'm not supposed to be hunchbacking it. So let me just move back and take a moment to relax my stance. Okay. I'm trapped. She's stuck in the machine. Okay. I think we got something. Will it be good? Who knows? We will find out. That is for certain. I'm going to pull this all out. Pull out the basting stitches and then I will see what comes out of the whole thing. Yike. Here we go. Yike. Okay. Okay. Whee! Here we go. So. Okay. If I have to hand base some of these corners, I will. But I'm doing what I can to get rid of red thread that's stuck in here. My house stays so warm. The air conditioning keeps kicking on. It's kind of funny. And I don't think it's that warm outside at all. So, I find that kind of funny. Okay. Ah, I'm being attacked by Rogue Thread. Rogue Thread is seeking me out. Actually, let's make sure we chop these off so we don't forget that. Okay. Come on. I want... I guess I'm gonna have to pull it out first and then... There we go. There we go. She's done. Now... I'll press it really good and then fold it to get it ready for kerchief level. Discord is notifying me of something. I don't know what. Okay. Although I realize if I am going to do the Sunset Dragon Arcane Jinx, I'm going to probably subscribe to her Patreon so I can get the pictures of the back, because that will be good to have on hand. I have I could always just make up the design as I go along, but it would be nice to get the full front and back detail correct. But that's just a me thing. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, let's iron her. Let's iron her and have fun. Okay, let me put my slippers on. Hopefully the pins are nowhere to be found. I'll find the pins later if anything. Ooh, okay. If I knock over the camera, blame the iron, not me. The iron is the one causing issues. I'm just its master. I'm just its servant. It's my master. Okay. All of a sudden my camera is getting a steam bath because of this. Okay, let's... you see? Okay. We'll try it this way. Okay. So I'm gonna do it this way. I shall fold it this way. And I'm gonna fold it again. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, I think that's a good size for my neck. Whoa. Sorry. Did not mean to cause the light to blind people. That was the... Again, the iron. The iron is my master. I am just living in its world. Okay, awesome. Now, we have a nicely folded scarf. And I should be able, actually, let's do it that way. I think I'm blinding myself with my own light here. Like, excuse me? Okay, so I'll put it facing down. Let's see. There we go. Okay. That took way longer than I wanted it to, but you know what? It's okay. I wasn't trying to zippity-doo-dah through it, so we're okay. Part of me kind of feels like I should just kind of tack it in place so I don't have to worry about it unraveling as I wear it. So I think I might just grab a little bit of black thread and just do... Yeah, I think I might do it. Let me turn off the iron so I don't burn the house down. Okay. There, oh, I put the other needle. I put the needle in here. Awesome. I put the pin in there and the needle is in there, so I'm safe. Yeah, we're just gonna do a few tacks in this, so I don't have to worry about it moving around too much when I'm not wearing it. Let's use this side because the other side, my sewing machine cutter doesn't work as well. So yeah, I'm gonna just do like a tack here and a tack here. Nothing crazy, just enough to like hold it in place when I'm not wearing it, so it doesn't completely unravel and I lose its place. Okay, so the dark storm clouds are gone. Now we got sunset clouds. Yeah, so I'm not even doing it throughout the whole fabric. I'm just like doing it in like a very upper layer of it, like the inner layers of it, just to hold it together. Because I don't want to like it to lose its shape or anything while it's stored or something, and I have to like always like retie it, reposition it, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So also too, if I need to, I can just take out the little base stitch when I put my makeup on, and if I get my white makeup on it, I can just easily just take it apart and put it in the wash. That's like the important thing about everything. Like I like trying to make sure I can launder my costumes because I don't want a funky costume. I don't want my costumes to get funky or to smell or to get dirty in a way, because, you know, they drag on the floor or something. I want to be able to launder them in a way that is easy accessible. Which is one of the reasons why I did the cotton lining in the bodice of the dress. So it has a place. It doesn't easily get too disturbed or something like that. So okay, let me just do this real fast. Lock and load it. Like I said, it's not even like, this isn't necessary. I'm just doing this right now so it keeps its shape. Boom. Okay, so there we go. Let's put her on here. My neck is much smaller than my mannequin's neck, so. But that got done. All right, I think I'll work a little bit on I'll give myself like 20-30 minutes to work on the pattern for the apron. Like I said, a lot of it's just basically holding it up to the mannequin, trying to see what I can adjust. I know one thing I'm gonna adjust immediately, so I just gotta draw the pattern on the muslin or tulle, or the toile, as the French call it, the toile fabric. That way, have it all set. Okay, so let's take my other kerchief out of the way. I'm gonna start wearing my handkerchiefs again. I want to like start actually like dressing up for streams and putting makeup on, and I was gonna do that today, but I'm tired again. Actually, no, I'm gonna start doing that. I think that's gonna be like a get my stuff together motion and thought. Okay. There. So. All right, so here we go. We have the pattern, like I said, for the bodice already. And when you look on the bodice, let's try to scooch this over. I'll flip this way real fast. Okay, so, okay, here we go. Ah, you see it has a little kerchief on. All right, so this is the bodice. I'm going to, as you can see, I kind of want it comping because in the reference art, it goes up to my neck, which is fine. But I don't need to put the shoulders on. So this corner is definitely going to come off, and it's going to actually narrow off because I just want it to be where the marking is. So what I'm probably going to do is just cut out a piece of this and then adjust it on the actual mannequin and put it on. I think that's what we're going to be doing right now. If I actually had this already, like the proper one done, I would have easily just used that old pattern, but I don't have that pattern anywhere. I'm just gonna use this as a weight. And what else can I use as a weight? We're just gonna use these as pattern weights, so I don't have to pin it down into place. Because again, this is just a draft of what we're gonna be using. And I just want to follow. We did adjust the neckline on the pattern paper because my neckline was way too high. It was choking me. Now it doesn't. Now it fits really nice. So. I'm gonna go in front of the camera on this side so you can see my back, because that's gonna be easier. There we go. Very, you know, flattering angle here. This I'm not worried too much about cutting it accurately because it's gonna get chopped once it gets put on the dress form and against the actual dress. Now, I do like the idea of draping. However, I don't have a mannequin that fits me properly, and you need a good fitting mannequin to do that. This is hysterical. I did not cut the second one. Okay. I thought that was the case, but I didn't know for sure. So I'm gonna flip to that camera, the big camera, so you can see me a little bit. Move it that way slightly. I don't think you see outside. No, you don't. You just see window. Window is good. Okay, so again, this is gonna go right here. So I love the shape already. Like, I love this part. This part's great. My concern is I don't want it to stick out too much when it's on the actual dress. I'm just gonna put some pins on here to hold it in place, because that's important. The lighting is terrible right now. Everything's so like white, blaring white. Let's fix that. No, that's up. We went down and we want the warmer light. Yeah, there we go. Now I don't look like a ghost. I was looking ghostly for a moment there. I looked like part of the walking. I look like I should have been on like Twilight or something. Just like Casper for a moment. Which is actually funny because when I was a child, actually when I was a newborn, in the hospital, they used to call me Casper. And the reason why I got the nickname Casper was because I was bald. Bald. I had no hair on my head. And I still have, my eyes were just like these big black orbs. So they used to call me Casper in the hospital because I had black orb for eyes, and I had no hair on my head. Yep. Because of that, I was Casper in the hospital. Okay. Let's group to this a little. Okay. Do I not have pins in here? I do have. I thought so, because I have pins holding down the homemade tag, which I'll probably put a homemade tag on my apron too. That would be cute. Okay, so here we go again. Okay. I'm going to get a pen. And I'm going to use a red pen just to be smart. So, okay, I know it has to be in here and then kind of down here. Right? I think that would work. Obviously, this is going to get stitched in because it's like very close still, but I have like 5/8 of the seam allowance in here that needs to be taken, because there's still 5 of an inch seam allowance. So I guess it's going to go here. And that's the seam allowance. So guess thing is, like, I don't want to cut too much of it because I also want to maintain some seam allowance in here, because I kind of want to, I'm trying to figure out if I want to self-line it or if I'm just gonna like let it be. let it be. Or just not bother lining it. So I'm going to, or if I'm just gonna like bias bind the ends underneath. I don't know, I have to see how it looks. But I think we got an idea. As you see, I'm like kind of like folding it over. Let's put it over here. Let's move it closer to the table so we can do it this way. So yeah, I have it like this. This is gonna be the neckline. The neckline's gonna go in anyway. So here we go. Like I said, it's going to have seam allowance because it has to have some binding of some sort on it. So it's gonna go like that. And then I'm just gonna kind of move it down a little bit more so I have more space. I don't matter. I can be off center. I need to put this on. Okay, so you see, we can do it this way. Oh, I think that's gonna look cute like that. Yes, and you see it maintains the curve, but doesn't go too crazy. Okay, I'm digging this. This is a nice pattern. So what I'll do is I can keep it like this and then I'll add the seam allowance in, except for the neckline. Like I won't do it up here, but I'll do it down here in the area here by the bodice. I'm digging this. This is gonna work like this. So the only other thing I have to do is the arm pieces, like in the back, because in the back I'm gonna have it that it watches and it goes in the crisscross. The torso on this is much shorter than mine, or how I made it. Like my torso is a lot. I have a short torso, but I did make it sit down here instead of up here on my waist, so it's a little lower, which is fine. I didn't hate it. I'm fine with it. I have the front set out. Okay. That's how you do it quickly. You just like rip and tear and move on with life. Okay. Oh, this is a nice size. Now I'll adjust the length later, but this is just more like giving me an idea of like what width I need on this. So definitely if I fold this in half, it will match this with, and I think I still have a little extra seam allowance, but I was thinking about making it go like this to the side a little and crisscrossing the back. And then she'll have it on both sides. Yes, you see, like that. And then I'll just get the other one. Just so we can see a nice thick back. So it's like really like X'd in the back. really thick, almost keeping it mostly white without being not having it completely white. I could even make it whiter, but I kind of just like it basic like that, which is fine. And we can do the bottom part. Now the scallops, I might hold off on doing that just yet, just for now, because I don't know if I have time to do the scallops. But I can definitely get this one cut out. Let's tape this together real fast. This was, I literally Googled free apron pattern on the internet to find it. I think it's called What the Craft Patterns. Again, I'm using it more for like the curved dimension, so I don't have to sit here and like figure it out. I have a boat ton of washi tape in my room, so I might as well use some of it. Again, I'm just looking to get this curve figured out pretty easily. These are paper scissors. Actually, yeah, let me flip it around. So this is, again, What the Craft pattern. It's supposed to like, yeah, this isn't lined up for some reason, but this is, and this is where, this is more important to me. Make sure this is lined up from the other side. Yeah. Again, cardinal rule, don't use paper scissors. Don't use your sewing scissors on paper products. Don't get me wrong, they are sharp enough. You don't want to dull them. And I just got those sharpened, so I am not dulling my scissors for anything in the world right now. Let's see. The trick is gonna be, is this going to match the waist in the actual apron I made? So let's go back here and see how she looks. So this is the side how I'm gonna make the apron. This is, we're not worried about that. This is too big. This is too wide. Let me move back a little bit. This is way too wide right now. It's probably because it's not the right pattern pieces, but I didn't pay attention. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the pattern. Because the issue is with Niffty, it's very narrow, but it does go wide. You know, it's a narrow at the waist and then it goes out wide. So I think what I am gonna do is I might keep it like, cut this down and then angle it out, which is gonna sound funny and strange, but watch. Still think it's too big. See, this is what happens. It's like sometimes I think it's gonna work and then it doesn't, and it's fine because it is what it is. So let's see. I did bring it. Sweet. Okay. Let's do this. I'll flip it over so I actually have real paper to work with. First things first, let's make this line straight. I don't want to not have a straight line right now. We're going to cut here. I want to make this smaller but keep this big, but it's still too big for my taste, so I'm going to... So I trued up the line. I'm going to keep this, make this a little shorter because it does have the scallop edge that I gotta worry about. So that's going to add length to this thing really quickly. I think that's more the direction I want to go. I need... Don't I have a measuring tape out? That's sad. Actually, I'll just use a ruler. Here to center will be 4 inches. And this is 4 inches. Perfect. Sometimes I can eyeball things. Other times, not so much. Sometimes my eyeballing is dangerous. Okay. Ooh, I like that shape. Oh wait. See, this is where the danger part comes. I forgot to take into account that I trued out the line. So let's do it this way. We have 1 horse here. Okay. It just has to go over a slight bit. So we'll do it this way. Uh-huh. Okay. So even though I did print out the pattern, I'm morphing it into my own needs. The pattern is literally more of a guide than it's like a tool more than like what I'm doing at the moment. I still think it's too long. I feel like it needs to be much shorter than this. Because again, we have those scallops that are going to take up like, the scallops are going to be like at least an inch. So that's going to be an inch there, so. Yeah, I still feel like it needs some more length taken off of it. And I kind of want to stick it out a little bit more. I feel like it now I took way too much of the curve. So again, my nifty trick of just adding paper so we can so we have a baseline for this. So okay, since I want this shorter, I'm gonna make it even shorter. Because in the thing, it does look like it's shorter. Again, those I'm really concerned that the scallops are gonna just be way too... Like, those scallops, it's gonna, like, make it super too long for me. I think I do need to start curving it now from here out. Alright. And then I want to go take that curve. I'm really trying to cartoonify this apron as much as I can. Because because I think like making it very cartoony will be really fun and really add to the dimension of the costume. Just making it super cartoony. Like this is like the one feature on the entire outfit that's very cartoony. So I wanna live with that cartoon moment as much as I can. Yeah, I'm disregarding the line there because I want to make sure I get the better curve here. Oh yeah, it's more like a tea kettle shape. It's more like a bubble shape, which I'm thinking will look cuter. Yep, I think that's it. I think that looks really cute like that. Like really like emphasize this out. Yeah, I think that will look really like boom. Stick it out. Okay. So, and this is gonna go up higher. It's gonna go like here. And it is perfect to fit in the center. So you see like that. And then I will put the black band around the waist, which won't be difficult. So let's just pin this as a placeholder. Yeah, so that's how it's gonna end, like that. It'll look like this when it's set down. I think this works out because then the thing is like I also have like, my pockets on the side, and when I put the petticoat underneath, it will fill out the skirt. All right, in case you didn't hear, I think this works out because I have my pockets to worry about. And when I wear my petticoat, it will make the skirt come out more. So it will definitely fill out this spot. And then you have the scallops still. So it's still going to be out a little bit more. So there we go. I think she's done. I think she's going to be cute. And I guess we can work on cutting out the fabric and stuff and work on the apron. I already cut out the blood splatters that go on the bodice. So I'm happy to put those on. It's gonna be really fun. And then I want to see if the poodle will look good on here. I think the poodle will look really cute on this side, and then have the ribbon come up. I think it's through the back. I have to look at the reference art that I'm using for that one. But I believe we're done for the night. I don't know if I like these afternoon streams or not. I feel like I have less energy. Normally in the morning I'm more energetic. I have more, I'm more upbeat. I'm just tired right now, and I'm gonna start pulling out leftovers for dinner. So have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. And yeah, so we got the kerchief and the apron pattern, and hopefully come Friday I will work on the apron. I hope to be live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And I wish you all a lovely Wednesday evening and a good rest of the week. Bye.